What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hour 2, live at the Lickin' Miami Gardens, 5 minutes away from Hard Rock Stadium as we get ready for the game tonight against Bethune Cookman. Just had a massive lunch.
I'm going to pull my
Let's
plate
see what we
up
got
here just so you guys see. I kind of was like, I ate on camera, which I was fine with, but I did it so slow. Like, I did some damage here. There's nothing left here on these lamb chops, greens, and yams.
Yeah, the yams were great. I had a salmon, some collard greens, and then the fried broccoli. Outstanding. Shout out to Eileen. Shout out to Chef Bridges. Shout out to Mello, Coach Mello, the whole team out here, man. We are loving life here at the Lickin' in Miami Gardens. Watching these games, I'm starting to pull away a little bit. You're seeing some separation between Illinois.
Oh, hold on. Before we get to the football, Canes Cat Seat says, show me what you're eating so I can order some licking on Uber Eats, which takes me to this right here, DoorDash, Uber Eats. Obviously, you get the delivery, but you can pick it up also. I'm telling you, man, I had the lamb chops. Everyone loves the wings. I know you just had the salmon. Your family was here last week, too.
Yeah, they had the lamb and some chicken.
And they had, the fried chicken, chicken and waffles as well.
Listen, you guys have all been in this scenario for going to the games. You didn't eat lunch or dinner or whatever. It's a night game. You have the option. You could wait and eat after the game at like a McDonald's. You can eat after the game at a place like the Lickin' where I'll take it on the go, get a much better high-level meal, much heartier, much more just higher quality. You can eat before the game. It's probably the smartest bet right here at the Lickin', either inside the restaurant or you take it to go to your tailgate. Or you can eat at the stadium and spend about $500 on food that's not really that good. So to me, no brainer. The Lickin' is there to take care of your eating needs in and around game time as you come down to the stadium. We're 5-minute drive away as we get ready to watch Miami take on Bethune Cookman. So be focusing on the Bethune game. Again, I'm not sure too much of the first team offense. What you're going to see, my guess, Mark Fletcher and Marty Brown, and hopefully Jordan Lyle. I don't know his exact injury status. Nothing serious, but we'll see what they play him this week. You want to see those guys just run wild. I think they will, given what FIU did to them last year, although FIU might be better than we thought.
Yeah. Penn State pulled away there at the end, but it looks like a pretty good cover. I think it was like a 44.5-point spread, something like that before the game. And they're down 27-0 now. So,
yeah, but NC State looks like they got an interception in the end zone. That's a game over situation. It seems like in rally for NC State versus Virginia, CJ Bailey, victory formation. So, yeah, I mean, these games kind of easing down. Watch Iowa State here as they're battling 13-13, 6 minutes left. We got white running backs running, so you know Iowa State is in full
Cyhawk
Midwest mode.
The Cyhawk rivalry.
Yeah, it'd be a fun game to watch there as down the stretch. But you got Florida USF, I think, starting up pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I think that's a 3:30 one, right?
Yeah, I got a couple of these games here in the 3:30 window. But really, again, we talked about the Miami-Bethune game, some of the young players that we want to see. In general, I think I like to see some physicality from the start. You know, just kind of that, not that attitude where we've seen games where guys were on fire. We've seen guys where guys are flying around. So we want to see guys really step it up and keep that intensity going. As we're greeted here by very fit Mr. Ariz. You know who he is.
ArizLawPA.com.
Rocking
for
throwback
your
Sean
estate
Taylor
planning
jersey.
needs. But yeah, just watching this one. Looks like Iowa State. Rocco Beck tried to hit him deep there. Looking for a penalty call, but not going to get it.
He's rocking the throwback Sean Taylor jersey, MiamiHTS.com. It's Miami Hurricane team. So I got the throwback Sean Taylor, the throwback Ed Reed, MiamiHTS.com. Promo code INSIGHT20 gets you 20% off your first item. Oh, as Darian Mensah throws an interception there to Illinois. Illinois' got some players, man.
Now, I like their body types. We were talking about it. That O-line, D-line, and just we know what they've done with defensive backs from the state of Florida recently as well. But they look good, man. And I think Duke still just doesn't have the guys across the board, if we're being honest. They've hung around here, but Illinois looks pretty darn good. It's a top 12 team in the country right now. So this is a playoff contender, many have been saying.
Did great in the postseason, beat South Carolina, which a lot of people think is going to be a team, at least last year, that was a very talented team. This year, we'll see how far Lenore Sellers can take him. But last year, they had a lot of NFL guys, and these guys still went up and beat him at the end of the year with a full squad against them. The arena's asking how many reps do you think JoJo's going to get today? I think I don't know. Again, I don't have the health report in front of me, the injury report. I'm out here. I know as much as you do on that front. I don't really ask when it comes to this in a week like this. But I think with JoJo, what you're going to see is more reps. You saw him block. You saw him lead block and knock someone out. I mean, he was doing things like St. Louis Rams, or I guess Los Angeles Rams now. I'm getting old. But they use their receivers as lead blockers, really scheme around their receivers, blocking big front seven players. You saw that with Miami last week, and JoJo Trader probably foremost among them as a lead blocker. The whole group, shout out to Kevin Beard, by the way, just the way the wide receivers blocked across the board. But I think that block in particular from JoJo Trader, lead blocking, was like the block of the game. So obviously he's healthy enough to mix it up like that. I think it's really more a timing issue with him at this point because he hadn't played in camp when he was balling in spring. Carson Beck was out. So I think those guys just need to sync up. Elijah Lofton, similar boat. So I think they'll get a lot of reps. I think if I'm Miami and he's available, which I think he is, but we'll find out, you want to get as many just positive moments in the real live game situation, tackle football between him and Beck as possible, because that's going to carry over to USF, going to carry over to that Florida game. You're going to need JoJo Schrader and his athleticism in this lineup. You need him in this receiving core. So he just got to time up with Beck. I think that'll happen fast. It's a lot easier when you're going against Bethune, obviously, as opposed to Notre Dame secondary, which talking to people around the program and people who watch the film in depth, they're like, man, this might be the best secondary in America. These guys were tough to deal with. We did as good as we could, really made some progress. We're going to get better from here, but you're starting with the best defensive backs you're going to play all year, and did enough to get the W.
I'll take it a step further when you talk about a JoJo Trader and talking about how many reps he'll get. I say scheme him, a few kind of force-fed balls early, D. And I'm not saying it has to be early, but at some point during this game where he gets the ball in his hands, he gets some confidence. And I keep going back to game one because we've gotten a lot of comments about it right off the bat. Why didn't he play as much last week? They tried to go to him early deep. If there's a connection there, I guarantee you he's playing more throughout that game, right? So sometimes that's how the game flows. Again, you get into a tighter situation there, and there's more trust, I think, between Beck and some of the other guys right now. But that's not to say he can't become a big part of this offense. So why not throw him the ball laterally a little bit, horizontally, then take another shot deep with him. Again, I call it force feeding, but I'll say design plays. And he's not the only one I'd like to see that with today.
Yeah, I think Elijah Lofton, we talked about earlier on the last hour, similar thing, Pete. I think you hit on the head. With those guys, both of them, JoJo Trader can take that short pass, make a guy miss, make something happen. That's something he did in high school, something he's capable of doing. Elijah Lofton, so unique at the tight end position. I think he's really a running back, like long term. I think the ability to run the ball, the ability to lead block as a fullback, which he didn't do great last game, but I've seen him do so many times. I know he's capable of, and then run routes and do his thing there. I think running back's really where he'll live. But if you put him at like line him up wide or whatever, throw him a quick pass or do a little tight end screen, whatever you want to do, he can get the ball and make guys miss. He can read the defense. He's got great vision for a player playing tight end. He's really running back. You break tackles. You saw him against UF, right? Late in the game, he came in, caught a short one, was spinning guys off, weaving through traffic, dragging guys, made an amazing play in that UF game. So I think with him, he has that ability to do things with the ball in his hands that other tight ends don't have. So get him going early with the quick ones. Get JoJo Trader going with the quick ones. And look, maybe you do something off that. But anything to get their confidence going and let people realize, hey, we got some great athletes here. We're going to help our team down the road as we try to move this thing towards an ACC championship and the playoffs.
D, I know we've been getting a lot of questions. I wouldn't say we're getting a lot of questions, but we haven't spoken so much about the game itself today, right?
And by the way, I appreciate you, Arena. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. But going back to last year's game, second game of the year against Florida A&M, Miami wins that one 56-9. Daniel Richardson was the quarterback there, and that one actually mentioned him earlier in the show, forgetting that he played in that game. I was out of the country, so I was not here for this game. But looking at the numbers, Ward 20 for 26, 304 yards, 3 touchdowns. Martinez 11 carries, 91 yards, a touchdown. Fletcher 542, a touchdown. Lyle 640, a touchdown. AJ Allen 5 for 25. So running wise, very balanced. Over 300 yards for Ward. I wouldn't be surprised to see similar numbers today from Miami. Maybe Beck a little bit underneath that. I don't know if he's hitting 300 today. Maybe 270, 280. But yeah.
Tyler Barron, 3 sacks in that game. As we were scroll down, you know that some of these young guys are loving that. For
Justin
Marquise
Scott
Lightfoot
had a sack.
So I'm looking at the Duke game. Interesting box score as because now Illinois is starting to really pound it a little bit. Caden Fegan, running back, 250-pound running back out of Illinois. So you're seeing the power game for Illinois, which is not a surprise. But actually, look at the numbers. It wasn't the running game that won it for Illinois. In fact, Illinois only ran for 1.8 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns, some key conversions, but really didn't run it that well. But it's really the receiving of these Illinois receivers. You lost Pat Bryant, you lost Franklin, you lost some top receivers. But this Hank Beatty character, who is a new name for me, he looks good. Hudson Clement from West Virginia. They're playing really, really well in the passing game. Really interesting offense that they run. Veteran quarterback with Altmaier.
Baylor scores, so we got a touchdown game now in that one.
Just saying, a lot of turnovers. That's the difference in the game. No, certainly, I've seen some great throws. So Hank Beatty, yeah, he's one of these guys. He had 294 yards last year, 1 touchdown, and today he is really balling. Because he had his first game, he had 108 yards. So he's off to a good start. So if you're looking for a breakout star in the Big Ten, Hank Beatty for Illinois off to a really, really good start here with two big games, and we'll see if we get any breakout stars here tonight for the Canes. Receiving core, I want to talk about some of these guys. We talked about JoJo Trader, Malachi, CJ Daniels. We talked a lot about those guys. Some other names I'd like to step up. Josh Moore, we talked about. Dalen Upshaw. Dalen Upshaw is the third part of that true freshman trio. Did not play really against Notre Dame, but he can play. I've seen him in practice. He's right there with those other two. Very, very balanced player. I like his game. He's someone who's going to do some damage as Iowa State goes for a field goal here to take the lead, 13-13. Let's see if they can make it.
Long 54-yarder.
54-yard attempt for the Clones.
I don't want to look at the comments because someone's going to be ahead of us. So
Kyle Conradi. Let's see. Lining up.
Does he have Carter Davis's leg? Ooh, it looks good. He got it. Nailed it. Wow, what a kick. Not quite the same leg strength as Carter Davis, but
not that different.
Only a wee bit. Man. Great kick.
Only a wee bit different.
Great
not that
kick,
different.
Great kick.
But that was a great kick. Now let's see if Mark Gronowski from South Dakota State. He's going to get the ball. We'll see what he did.
He's not much of a downfield passing threat, so we'll see. And look at that, and it's getting a little blustery out there. You're not quite cold, but you can see the wind out there. Nice kick, man.
Yeah, man. No, nice kick. So we'll see how this whole thing plays out. I was going to mention some receivers, some young guys. Dalen Upshaw is a freshman. Also, Nye Carr, Chance Robinson from the class of 2024. We talked about JoJo Trader. These are guys that had their moments in camp as well. Particularly Chance Robinson, I thought, had some really, really nice days of practice, had missed a lot of time because of his injury. He made a post on social media just kind of like, he wants to play, which every player wants to play. So there's nothing unusual about that. But I think a guy like that, this is his opportunity, who's been injured, to really show what he can do, catch the ball, make some plays. I think it's going to be a really, really nice opportunity for him in particular to catch the ball over the middle. He's a great blocker as well. We saw blocking these receivers. He can get downfield. He's a good route runner, better route runner than maybe I thought at his size. So Chance Robinson, as well as Nye Carr, I'm circling those guys for potentially big games. As Hurricane, who, by the way, was at the Lickin' with his lovely wife last week and came from Alabama not just to come to the Lickin'. I think he wanted to see maybe a football game there at the Rock, but came to the Lickin'. Great, always great to see those guys. And I know they enjoyed some soul food, some Southern food, and really everything that the Lickin' has to offer. Fresh is saying FSU's not playing. They scored 77.
East Texas A&M.
That's fine. They can't carry those over until the next week, so let them get them now. And
Deuce Robinson looked. I will say Deuce Robinson could be a nice player for them, a downfield threat.
Yeah, I think if you're the Hurricanes, you're putting Xavier Lucas on him, one of your bigger corners, and then saying, all right, stop the run, see if you guys can still throw the ball. drop back and throw. I think that remains to be seen. Excuse me, when you talk about FSU and this Malzahn offense. But you heard Saban say, look, this Malzahn offense, when they have the right quarterback, when they're on the right day, they're tough to deal with. And he knows because he's dealt with these guys at Auburn. So he was very complimentary of just the problems that the right type of offense and the right type of quarterback can present. So
I'm looking at these next slate of games here. Oklahoma State, Oregon. That one's probably going to get ugly. I don't think that Dan Lanning is too happy with Mike Gundy's comments this week. Ole Miss, Kentucky, early season SEC battle there.
The Cuban Missile.
You have East Tennessee State, Tennessee. That's East Tennessee State. That's where Frankie Tinalow's at now. South Florida USF is at 4:15.
Yep. That'll be the game of that
slate.
3:15 slate.
And then you got obviously Miami at 7 o'clock, but you have Michigan, Oklahoma tonight. It's an interesting one because you have the quarterback situations there. I think Oklahoma, just understanding that this is Bryce Underwood's first road atmosphere, I would probably give Oklahoma the advantage in that one, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Mateer. We talked about him a bunch. He reminds me of Jalen Hurts as a runner. His throwing's a little different, but he's got more of that baseball kind of delivery. But big-legged player, just like Hurts. People always talk about the tush push. The reason the tush push works so well, they have a great offensive line, but also Hurts squats, 600 pounds?
Yeah.
So don't underestimate the importance of a lower body strength in one of these quarterbacks that runs the ball a lot. Tim Tebow, another one that is really, really strong lower body. Gronowski, another one too. We'll see how he does here on this drive. But I think Mateer gives you that element of inside running. Plus, he's that former baseball player who can kind of sling the ball different angles. He can generate velocity pretty good from those different angles. We will see how he does against a Michigan defense that has the last decade been really, really, really good. Going back all the way to like Devin Bush and those guys. I mean, they've been good for a while at Michigan on defense. We'll see. They lost 2 tackles to the first-round defensive tackles. They lost an incredible cornerback. They've lost a couple guys in the portal they wanted to keep. They also brought guys in the portal. So we'll see how that defense looks. Bryce Underwood, like you mentioned, against a Brett Venables defense. They were pretty good last year. They lost some players to the NFL in Oklahoma. They bring back R. Mason Thomas, Broward County guys, Cardinal Gibbons guys. So interesting matchup. Who do you like in that game?
I just told you I like Oklahoma in that.
You like Oklahoma?
Yeah, I like Oklahoma in that one. I give them the advantage there. Shout out to Jose Lasso. He says, "Save me some ribs. I'm on the way to the licking." The game that I was continuing.
Oh, you caught choking.
Yeah, what channel is that one on? Maybe we gotta find.
It's on CW.
That's CW. So was SMU. So
maybe that. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Maybe it's not.
The game that I'm interested in
ESPN
later.
Plus. So there you go. Syracuse. Yep. They just scored and got the 2-point conversion, so it's up 20-17.
Is Arizona State, Mississippi State. That's going to be an interesting one. I'm a believer in Jeff Lebby as the head coach at Mississippi State. They were horrible last year. Arizona State, Dillingham, I like the energy that he brings. I think he is a great coach, and I think he's got a future there I think he can really build something to last there. That's a good program. And you got some talent in that area. But I think Mississippi State could get that one done tonight.
Yeah, we talked about Mississippi State, some of the transfers they got. They got Luke Kromenhoek from FSU, who I think is a very good guy to get as like a developmental upside guy. Blake Shapen back from injury. He's a starting quarterback. They got Fluff Bothwell. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
He's a very good freshman in the G5 level. Now moves up to the SEC level. Had a pretty good start already. Has 2 touchdowns. We'll see what he can do. But yeah, I'm intrigued by that particular ball game. I think Arizona State, Levitt, really talented passer, has a good arm, can move a little bit. I love Tyson, Jordan Tyson, the receiver. I think he's a legitimate first-round type receiver. Was extremely productive. The Colorado transfer was extremely productive last year. Got injured down the stretch and was unable to play in the playoff run. But he's really good. But without Scadaboo, how are they going to do travel to Starkville? As did Iowa State. 4th down for Iowa State.
4th down. It's 4th and miles here. This is the ball game here. Let's see.
Not where Iowa State wants to be. 4th and 16.
When you can sit back in a zone against Gronowski and he has to throw it downfield.
He's running.
He's looking to load up.
Oh, yeah. No. He didn't.
Yeah.
Not a lot of separation there.
No. I didn't see that as a fit for him offensive wise, right? Like,
mean, I thought they'd be run the ball. They could use him as like a Tebow kind of runner, and then have.
I've just never seen that. That's never been their offense, though.
Right, pro style.
Yeah,
made sense for him trying to be a pro quarterback, but yeah, man, Iowa State. Matt Campbell? Remember when? So he was the hot name. Then he kind of fell off a little bit.
But Iowa State, never in their right mind would get rid of him because, well, what better are you going to get than that? And
smart decision here, as obviously they're on a pretty good winning streak. They beat Miami in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Cam Ward didn't play the second half. We all know that one, but they held up their end of the bargain. Just sent 2 receivers to the NFL, and now here you go. Big win over Iowa in an interstate robbery, about to go to 3-0. Iowa State Cyclones.
The clones, man. Good win.
Ames, Iowa is on fire right now for that.
I have not been to Ames. I cannot say I've been to Ames. I have not recruited in the state of Iowa.
Good NFL players coming out of there. If you think about, not a ton, but Breece Hall is one of the better running backs in the national.
We got to get the SMU game on. I'm sorry, Josh says SMU going to give this game away? ?
Let's take a look.
So let's take a look. What's happening here, man?
When your defense isn't on point, that's the kind of things that could happen. Still, man, as I see Colorado get ready to play, what a bummer that Deion gave that one away with the timeouts last time. So here we go. Sawyer Robertson completes to his running back number 7, Washington.
Broken up by Harmon.
20, Medlock. Isn't that Justin Medlock, a former Miami Hurricane football commit at linebacker?
Yeah.
Oh, UConn just made a crazy 4th and 10 catch. Chat's going wild, man.
I love this. This is last week, we were hyped up for the game. We could have talked forever about Miami Notre Dame, but this week we have games to be following. So this is fun, man.
Yeah,
and we're chat's updating us on what's happening too. It makes our lives easier. I gotta find the channel of that game. Hold on a second.
Yeah, no, this is a lot of fun, and it's nice to be having break rate. It's one of those things where it's like the best part of winning, beating Notre Dame, is beating Notre Dame. The second best part is kind of enjoying the rest of the week. In this case, 2 weeks, right? Because you're playing an FCS opponent that's not too much of a threat on paper. So you have to enjoy this week as a college football fan. It's just a lot of fun, a lot more fun than sweating. Whereas, look, I'll be sweating by the time this BCU game is, just make sure guys aren't hurt and things like that. And we'll definitely be sweating against USF. Man, if USF can knock out Florida, that's going to be
I don't see it, man. I know you've been talking a lot about USF. I've said already this week that I'm not really concerned with that game. I don't see them being Florida. I hope I'm wrong. That'd be a nice upset, and to kind of get them limping going into LSU, because they have LSU next week in Baton Rouge. But at the very least, maybe Byron Brown takes a little bit out of them with his physical running style.
Yeah, I don't see them winning either. But here's what I'll say: when you have, as Sawyer Robertson lets it rip, when you have a offense that has a lot of possessions, which USF, that's their style of play. They give you a lot of possessions. We had Cam Ward, number 1 offense in the country. We were scoring pretty much every time, so ultimately we won.
He almost got that. He missed time to jump, and he almost got it.
Minus 18.5. Travis Thomas lets us know a UF, so that is a big number. Again, I think because of the possessions that they can. Remember, we were like tight with USF for a second. It ended up being a huge blowout. I think we won by like 30 or something like that because we had so many possessions with our great offense. Lagway, who I think the world of, I think he's really, really good. One thing I'll say is I could see situations as Baylor gets a big chunk run here.
15-yard run on 3rd and 10, man.
What I could see is a situation where, 11 seconds left in that UConn-Syracuse game, where, Lagway is very talented with the explosive plays, but he does have some empty possessions. He misses some throws. He takes sacks. You get holding penalties. If you get too many empty possessions on a team like that has, that pace, they can catch up on you and they can make you pay. So Lagway's style is really good for these big games because I think even against a good defense, he'll run around, he'll make some plays, and he'll do just enough to win, which he did against LSU, against Ole Miss. But he's not like the most efficient, like, hey, our offense is putting up 50 a game. That's not really how he gets down as Illinois scores again. Manny Diaz struggling here at home against Illinois. Statement.
Nice play design there on the goal line. Really, really nice play. They've got look at the guys up front though, D. Look at that offensive line. Look at that. They got 2 tight ends that are out there. Or I don't know if that's 2 tight ends. You got 2 big bodies out there just kind of getting in the way.
2 tight ends.
Yeah, look like 2 tight ends to me. That's gonna be a tough out. I mean, they look to me like kind of like that Indiana team from last year.
Yeah, I like that comp. Altmaier, veteran. So Pete, it's one of those things we talked about before. Veteran quarterback, offensive line kind of culture, right? Trenches culture from the head coach down. Your ability to run the ball with power. They didn't run the ball great today, but towards the end of the game, you saw that 250-pound running back doing his thing and kind of closing it out. So the same ingredients you're seeing with the Miami Hurricanes. They also have a really good secondary in Illinois with, I think, three South Florida guys. They got Torrey Cox. They got Xavier Scott, who I believe is a South Florida guy. They have a couple guys from down here up in Illinois. So not that much different than Miami. I think Miami's a higher level version of what they have, but kind of a similar style, and that works for them.
Bucks Kane says, let's build depth experience today. That, and D, we kind of talked about it yesterday in our show from Duffy's. You have to, at a certain point here, understand that there's going to be some young guys on this team that aren't featured players, but just because they're at loaded positions, but they're going to be needed as Baylor scores here, and an extra point would tie it up. I don't know, man. That last defensive possession looked very similar to what we saw last year at Miami, I got to say. But great throw by Sawyer Robertson. That was a nicely placed ball. But it's about getting back to my point real quick. Like, you got to figure out who you want to keep moving forward. You're going to have to pay some guys on this team that, you're paying big recruits coming in. You're paying your best players, obviously, to keep them from going to other schools.
Who you have seen play.
Right. And then you're going to have guys on this roster that I'll throw his name out there, for example, Jabari Antoine. It's going to be tough for him to be a primary player this season. I think he's someone I'm excited to maybe see out there today.
Big time.
We haven't talked about him, but like, he's someone that I think could be a building block for that defensive backfield. Has the size, has worked his way back from the injury they suffered in high school. And like, you have to say, man,
as Darius Mensah gets completely destroyed and Illinois recovers the fumble.
Sorry. I mean, I hate to say it, D, but this is and Manny, I just look, I think he's at a good place for Manny, but they're unraveling and they're kind of, I think this is what happens. You take up the personality of your coach.
Empty stadium too, which unfortunately we've seen some of these losses. Definitely didn't see it last week. Boom. Oof. Yeah, Illinois, man, looks good.
He's making 7. So listen, for everything that's said about what Carson Beck's making this year, he's making Mensah. It's been confirmed. They've had stories come out.
They brag
this
about
week. He's making $7.5 million over the next 2 years. So this isn't all on him. I think he's a talented quarterback. I really do, but they don't have the guys right now.
And they weren't a quarterback away. You could have spent that money on defensive linemen, some more size. That's kind of where I'm looking at it from that standpoint. Duke just didn't have the bodies to match up with Illinois. Manny did not do a great job recruiting at the University of Miami. For his sake, you hope he does it a little more at Duke. But one thing that comes to my mind watching these games, Pete, if you look at this game with Darren Mensah, right? He was one guy that was talked about to be a Miami Hurricane. Oh, as Illinois puts it on him.
This is getting ugly. Illinois looks good, man.
Is that me to take this to the house?
Oh, that's a good return though from SMU. That's Chris Johnson right there.
Yeah, the good thing they didn't let him get loose. I don't know if they're gonna sit on it or what. This will be interesting to watch. Khalil Valentine, very talented player. I believe he was a 4-star recruit at one time. I have to look him up. He looks familiar. But when you talk about Darian Mensah, right? You talk about someone like Mark Gronowski, who didn't really look very good for Iowa. We just talked about him. These were guys that Miami was talking about as potential transfer quarterback. I don't know about privately maybe as much as publicly, but we talked about it. It was a fan kind of narrative, and other people put those pieces together. They were expensive players for the teams they ultimately did sign with. So you look at some of these transfer quarterbacks and you're thinking, as SMU threatening to get a field goal here. I mean, you look at Carson Beck. Would you rather have Carson Beck than some of these other options? And these are not even the lower level options.
I mean, look, I think what I will say is that looking back now, knowing he's healthy, it feels like it was a bargain.
Yep.
I think we do have to say that there was still the reports that Miami doctors were getting back were very good, and they felt good enough to clear everything.
Yep.
But I think that's still was a fair criticism at the time looking back on it. But that's also like what Miami also had to put themselves out there and say, hey, we're willing to do this, knowing that you're not throwing the football right now.
No, you're making
that's I think looking back on it, a discussion that will be had more than we talked about right now.
I think you make a good point that when you look at the process part of it, it's a little closer call. I just think looking at what we know now, right, as we sit here today.
Hey, but that's it. The narrative is not that. The narrative now should not be.
Oh, no.
Wow.
What a stupid call. I hate that call.
I do too. I mean, listen, I want SMU to win.
I don't. Screw SMU. Well, I know ACC. At the end of the day, Miami's going to win everything and be there on their own. Yeah, that is unfortunate. So basically what happened here is, this guy, so you have a running quarterback for SMU who can hurt you with his legs. You're worried about him running for 20 yards and kicking a field goal. He stopped.
That wasn't even like a real slide to me, though. That was like a half.
It was like a seat.
Those are the dicey ones, man.
They might review it, I think.
Travis is with you. He says he doesn't want them to win.
Yeah.
Either.
He didn't lead with his head. Josh started off saying, I love the portal quarterback approach, but you can die in that sword as well. One kid's decision could drastically change the ceiling of your season. I mean, look, any quarterback's going to affect the ceiling of your season for sure. I think what we could do a better job of, and we've gotten kind of lucky, is we've kind of went after top guys and gotten top guys. If you look at, they called the penalty. You look at Cam Ward. Obviously, we zeroed in on him, didn't really focus on Will Howard, ended up getting him, but we could have lost on some other guys. Look at this year. Didn't really go after Mendoza. Didn't go after a lot of guys. Beck worked out perfect. But yeah, I see what you're saying from the standpoint of you got to be careful with how you go through the process. But there's multiple options that we could have had. I mean, Mendoza wanted to come, and he's not tearing it up right now to start the season in Indiana. But I think most people consider him
I think people want. I think if you're a fan, I think what people want too is someone who maybe has multiple years of eligibility. So but it's tough to find that balance of this guy has experience, but he also might play for us for a couple years. If we're throwing tampering names out there, like you've been doing with CJ Bailey, I have another one for you that I know you'll be all over. Austin Simmons.
Oh yeah, but why would he leave though?
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
Lane Kiffin's name's always thrown around in job conversations. He might go with them though if he goes somewhere.
It's funny. So we used Tua's name with Andy Lefty, right? This is kind of an easy comp. We talked about that with Sagapotelli from Cal. And I think he probably has more arm strength than Tua. He chucks. He's more of a power arm, I think, than Tua. They're lefty, they're Hawaiian, so in that way they're comparable. But in terms of their actual style, I think Austin Simmons is actually the most similar to Tua. Just the way he operates, how quick he is, the quickness he plays with, the reads he makes, the accuracy. I do see a lot of Tua in Austin Simmons, the lefty quarterback for Ole Miss. From Pahokee, those you don't know. It's all South Florida quarterbacks. We talked about CJ Bailey, who I think is incredible. I thought Fernando Mendoza, who you're seeing in first-round mocks. Is he there? I don't know, but we were pretty early in saying that he's a real guy. Mm-hmm. The other South Florida quarterback you got to put in that mix, Austin Simmons from Palm Beach, Florida. I think is he originally from Dade County? I know our guy Chance Mack
he has some ties. I think he might have some ties to Miami. I don't want to speak for it though.
But definitely a South Florida guy. Went to high school in Palm Beach, graduated early. I think graduated 2 years early, and then left to go to Ole Miss. He's already graduated Ole Miss, kind of like Samson Okunlola, just one of these really smart guys. And he looked good in his debut. Didn't have the greatest competition, but Austin Simmons, another South Florida quarterback that you could put in that mix.
So we got overtime, Syracuse and UConn here. I'm trying to pull it up. It's on Watch ESPN. So I gotta pull it up here, D. But
yeah. Josh started off with a great point. I think what Oregon had last year, which is a great college starter and talented developmental prospect, is ideal. Expensive to do, but puts you in a great spot. I look at Baylor with a guy like Sawyer Robertson. Now, he came in and played, but just using him as experience, he's a redshirt senior who's been around. There's guys with good physical tools that go to the SEC, kind of get lost in the wash or wherever, Big Ten, and you can grab those guys. Sawyer Robertson, a perfect example of a big, athletic, good arm player who was slower in his development than maybe some other guys, so he ended up getting in the portal. You got him and you rolled with him. Dante Moore, an example of a very talented five-star player that was able to sit there and redshirt behind a Dylan Gabriel. I think Oregon played that one really well. We were in communication with Dante Moore at that time, ended up going with Cam Ward. It worked out for us, but I could see that kind of scenario. this quarterback class, and I've said it, Pete, I think this 2025 quarterback class, we got Luke Nickel, who's going to be potentially a good player. We'll see him hopefully today. 2025 quarterback class is loaded with high-level producers, high-level basketball athletes, guys that can move around, guys with length, guys with just a lot of ability. I love the quarterback class, and I think that as
Syracuse goes up, they score a touchdown in overtime.
Yeah, so I think this quarterback class, you could potentially get a transfer from one of those guys who, let's say he falls behind another, like Ohio State. I'm just using an example. You have Tavion St. Clair, who is the number 2 quarterback in the country last year, depending where you looked. 5-star quarterback from Ohio, small town in Ohio. Big guy, athletic, strong arm. He goes to Ohio State. He's redshirting. Julian Sain, who I don't think is like one of these slam dunk pro prospects, is the starter. Certainly will be the starter next year if he keeps playing well this year. Again, I'm not crazy about him, but in that conference with those weapons, he'll put up good numbers. He'll run the offense fine. It'll be hard to push him out. So if that's the case and he's good enough, now you have a 5-star quarterback that's probably saying, I want to bounce. So those are the kind of guys I think you could try to grab if you're the Miami Hurricanes as well. Just keep that in mind.
Josh says he's going to root for Syracuse to lose every game this year. Still bitter after last year. I don't blame you.
I'm with you, although I think they're going to probably pull this one off. We'll see.
Yeah. Jim Mora, man. It's crazy he's the coach at UConn. It's so random. But he's a good coach.
I mean, UConn was probably the worst team in the country not that long ago, and now they're decent. You know, they're competitive. So Jim Mora's done a really nice job just to get that program from the gutter.
Here's SMU for the win. Looks like it's like a 57-yarder.
Yeah, nice. Did they give him the 15 yards?
Let's see. They didn't give him 15 yards. All right, so we got a 57-yarder here.
Here we go. 57-yard.
I'd feel way better if Carter Davis was stepping behind the ball there.
Oh, no question. I've seen him make those in practice. Not in, doing it.
I think Mario said he hit 263-yarders recently.
Vegas can't say a freshman like JKS at Cal could say it's too small time to peace out. I think that would be a pretty good option.
Cal's one of those programs I want them to build a little something.
Me too. I was there.
You were there. You had a good time. I think you saw they're bringing the what is it, the Black Hole, the Raiders Black Hole fan club there. It's a nice area. I think again, we're in the ACC right now. It would be good for the ACC. I want them to do well, man. I think it's cool for college football to have those programs do well.
Yeah, it's funny, as we watch all these games, it feels like all we're doing is pulling against teams we don't like and scouting portal quarterbacks and scouting quarterbacks. I think that's college football right now as they miss it. So that's college.
He had the boot. He had the leg on it. But
that's college football right now. This is going to be a crazy overtime, by the way. This might be a 70-point game. That's college football. If you look at the transfer portal quarterbacks, it's had a seismic impact on the Miami Hurricanes the last 2 years between Cam Ward, who really revitalized the program, the best Cane, in my opinion, since Sean Taylor back 22 years ago. So he is incredibly impactful in the program. I got Carson Beck this year, gets you to his 5th top 10 win, comes against Notre Dame. So, yeah, we're paying a lot of attention to these potential transfer quarterbacks. I get it. But that's also because this is a big part of what college football is and what the Miami Hurricanes, quite frankly, are in 2025. Although Luke Nickel might throw 3 touchdowns here in the 4th quarter, we might be saying no transfer needed. We got our guy.
UConn throwing towards the end zone here.
Good coverage.
So 3rd and 11 here as Syracuse needs a couple stops here to win the game and complete their comeback. That shouldn't be a game that they lose, though, right? I don't care. I understand that they've – which, by the way, I had the box score here, but Angeli has thrown for like 400 yards in this game.
We liked them. We didn't understand. Yeah. To me, and Tennessee destroyed Syracuse last week, so maybe, they made the right decision. I think probably a lot of that had to do with the other players around. But I think Tennessee could have used Angeli even more than Syracuse. I think he's an SEC-type player, even without the elite physical tools. Connecticut throwing into the end zone.
Oh, that's a pass interference.
There it is.
He didn't get turned around. Yeah,
there it is. At Syracuse, pass interference and
that's a textbook pass interference.
Yeah.
The defender had no idea where the ball was there.
Bad loss for Duke, man. 45-19 at home. That's if you're trying to sell fans to come out to the game. I mean, it's not like they're losing to Alabama.
The way that they lost it at the end though, it was 31-19. If you lose it by 12, I don't think it's that bad of a finish if you don't let that happen there at the end. But it just looked like they kind of folded. They gave up there at the end. It's tough, man. I don't see speed and I don't see size.
No, and if you're spending $4 million on a quarterback, I question the roster construction strategy, right? We, Miami Hurricanes, Carson Beck is a missing piece to what we're doing, right? He's worth the $4 million. He's your coach on the field. He's running that offense. You already have a lot of good players. Obviously, your offensive line is the best in the country before you get to Carson Beck. So when I look at a team like Duke, I don't know if they have all that stuff around them where you say, yeah, let's pay $4 million for a quarterback, plop them in, and we're off and running. You know, they might have been better served spreading that money around. Maybe they get a player like an Angeli, which what did he cost? $1 million probably.
Yeah.
You know, so like nothing to do. I'm not trying to disparage the player of Darian Mensah. He made some bad plays, turnovers, also made some good plays.
I think it's a phenomenal deal for him.
Oh, for him, it's amazing. I'm not trying to disparage his ability because I think he can play. It's just a matter of we're learning more and more about how to use the portal, how to use money, how to use recruiting. We're learning. We don't know, right? Oh, is Duke this little tiny guy for Duke starting fights with the O-line out here at the line? This kind of looks like a Manny team. Players fighting and getting destroyed.
Something about I'm telling you, man. 3rd and 3 though here. UConn and Syracuse.
Quarterback draw. Nope.
No. Pulled it and batted down, man. So Syracuse is gonna have a play here to stop for the win.
Okay, let's pull this box score. UGA is up 14-3 at the half.
Ooh.
Against Austin P. I was told the players they got the ball. Maybe they'll score here. They're driving. Oh, I think they're gonna score again before the half. Georgia will. Gunnar Stockton 16-18. He's playing pretty good. I mean, their stats are good.
I don't know why I have, with all due respect to Kansas and Missouri, I don't know why I have this game on television over here.
Right? I don't know this. You know what? I was watching the pregame. It got me pretty fired up on this game. I kind of like this game.
This is an old rivalry, isn't it?
Yeah, let's put this game on. Actually, yeah, Kansas and Missouri. It's the border war.
I kind of want to see Oregon, Oklahoma State too in this game.
You can handle it. Our guy Bear Prabula, Bo Prabula, for Missouri. I think he's gonna be a pretty good player.
Yeah, me too.
Nope. Syracuse wins.
Incomplete.
All right, Syracuse wins on incomplete pass. No flag. Game over.
Game over. Wow. ACC.
Pokes are getting smoked here early.
Already? I knew this one.
Down 7-0.
This one would be
Clemson down a touchdown to Troy early from MB Kane. Guys, let me know if you guys like this format, just kind of watching these games and chilling. Let us know. It's a new style for us. I'm sure we'd be talking more about the game if it was more of a competitive situation. Yeah, man, college football is rocking.
Clemson down a touchdown to Troy.
I'm not sure SMU can stop the run, man. If you put in, like, we're going to play these guys, so watching them from the standpoint of an opponent, you know, we got Mark Fletcher, you know, we got Marty Brown, Jordan Lyle will be rocking and rolling by then. I don't know if they're going to stop these guys, man. It's hard to.
And they had Harrison Hunt there last year. How many other linemen are they going to be able to bring over from Miami?
Yeah.
And I'm surprised they didn't get Josh Horton over there.
We'll keep those guys. All right, safety blitz. Sawyer Robertson reads it. What a pass and nice catch. Safety blitz. Robinson threw right into it. Sawyer Robertson did, and then delivered a laser to Cameron, who made a beautiful catch. This was really well executed play by Baylor. This is not so much bad defense by SMU. I think this was just a veteran quarterback, Sawyer Robertson, redshirt senior. You hear me always talk about experience. Well, what are Sawyer Robertson's stats in this game? I think he's got to have like 500 yards. Fake Gary Furman says, more like SMH, am I right? Let's see here.
We got a text here. You and I just got a text here. I think Duke thinks they had a better chance at that one.
Wait, you mean like they think they got away from him? It was closer to the score?
Yeah. That's the messaging we just received right now on our end. So.
Honestly, I mean, I would be concerned. My criticism is Duke's a tough program to win at, right? I think the question would be, just the decision making of the roster construction. Now seeing how they look and then seeing Mensa, that doesn't, like if I'm paying $4 million for like a DJ Lagway, right? Who is
Josh says it's true
that was closer than the score.
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, yeah, turnovers, whatever. I mean, you lose 41-19 at home. I'm sorry, that's not a good day at the office. I didn't see physicality from Duke. I didn't see a lot of talent from Duke. And then I see $4 million invested in a quarterback who can't take over the game by himself. So that's the thing I want to kind of get to is like a Lagway or Lenore Sellers. I use those guys as an example. Josh Allen in the pros. I mean, these guys can single-handedly.
You can build the offense around them.
You can't stop them. They're too big. They're too athletic. They take over the game on their own. Mensa is a good quarterback, but Mensa is a play action, run the offense, distribute the ball quarterback. So if you're not building around them, it's a lot tougher. What's going on, Eileen? Thank you very much. Say hi to everybody.
Hey guys.
There you go.
At the Lickin', unbelievable lunch again. I had to drink a Red Bull just so I didn't fall asleep. I was about to take a nap back here.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like I felt energized after I ate, but also ready to take a nap because I was so full. It was amazing.
So yeah, we'll see now here as Baylor kicks an extra point. Did they bring it down? Yes, they did. So now SMU is on the clock. They got to score here. Tough situation for SMU. SMU's an offense that's certainly built to play fast. Put them in an overtime setting. I don't know. Can they execute here with a quarterback that's not that outstanding drop back passer moving the ball?
Getting a lot of comments about the quarterback spot for Miami today, D. And we haven't really focused on it outside of Carson Beck. I mean, in a game like this, you expect to see Emory.
Yeah, we've been focusing on too much with other teams.
Yeah. But I think that we both said there was a different looking Emory in terms of his release, maybe a little quicker. Looked like he had tightened the body up a little bit, was in better shape. I'm not saying you're going to see him taking off and running for 10, 15 yards down the field. But for a guy that we saw beat Clemson and didn't ask them to do a whole bunch, but did enough to beat Clemson.
Oh,
wow, what a throw! Is that Romello Brinson?
Oh, I was watching the simultaneous O's. All right,
look at guys. This is Romello Brinson just made a catch that was unbelievable.
All right, so I was watching Oregon. So Dante Moore threw a bomb to DeCorian Moore, who I believe is going to be this year's Jeremiah Smith, along with Malachi Toney, the two freshman All-America receivers, DeCorian Moore, Malachi Toney. Unbelievable catch
you have
here.
To see this.
But then Kevin Jennings,
great throw there too,
flinging it,
and then
Romello Brinson from Northwestern High School with a diving catch. I know our buddy Duasso is going great. Let me tell you something, man. Coach Duasso, you've seen him on our show. I think he wanted to be on next week. Let's bring him on. He's going to be bragging about all his guys. Some products of Coach Team Raw, Coach Duasso, previously the Immortals, some of Duasso guys that are in college right now. Isaac Brown, who had the 70-plus yard run yesterday. Romello Brinson, who was going insane today.
Fingertips catch, man.
Malachi Toney, who you saw last week.
Are they reviewing it?
Yeah, he caught that. Calvin Russell. Look at this guy right here, DeCorian Moore. I'm telling you guys, if you have not seen DeCorian Moore, number one for Oregon, true freshman wide receiver out of Duncanville, Texas, unreal player. Wide receivers in college football right now, I think the junior and senior class, the draft eligible class to me is very underwhelming. I think Tyson is a good player. There's a couple of good guys. Cardell Tate's pretty good. When you talk about elite difference-making players, you got to look at the ineligible players, which is obviously Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, who had a tough game, but we know he's still good. Coleman over at Auburn, he's going to be a player. Man, you look at Oregon with DeCorian Moore, elite talent as a true freshman. Malachi Toney, you saw what he could do for the Canes. There's some intriguing players. If you like wide receiver play, check out DeCorian Moore, Oregon. I'm impressed with Dante Moore. That was a big throw. Eugene's rocking and rolling. The great state of Oregon, my second home. Shout out to those guys. This Baylor SMU game. This might be a 70-pointer, Pete.
Yeah, well, remember, they also have I think in the third overtime, it changes to the 2-point conversions too. So
Canes Cat says, Miami 7 on 17. Raw. Listen, Camp Kitchen's in the rafters. DJ Ivy Web Pro. You look at all the guys, Bryce Fitzgerald, Malachi Toney this year. A lot of guys from that program that have made a big difference. with the Miami Hurricanes. So shout out to Raw Miami, and we got to get some more of their guys because we can't have Isaac Brown making plays elsewhere. Romello Brinson, I think it was probably for the best. Pete, see if we can get the border war here, Kansas versus Missouri. They actually fought a war. I guess that's the whole bleeding Kansas thing. I didn't pay enough attention in history class during that part, but they were talking about it on College Game Day. The Jayhawks were like the Kansas side of that conflict, and then they called the Missouri side the Tigers. So Kansas Jayhawks, Missouri Tigers here. Obviously, Kansas City split right between those two states. I like Missouri as a team. I'm intrigued by them. Bo Pribula, I think, is a really, really talented player as they go on offense here, 7'6". You got Damon Wilson, the defensive end who you stole from Georgia, 5-star player. So, what can those guys do? It's going to be an interesting team to watch. But right here, big game for the Big 12. Missouri, former Big 12 team, left to the SEC many years ago. Kansas trying to uphold the legacy of that conference, trying to make sure they get their respect when it comes to playoff polling and all that kind of stuff. 2-0 start for Kansas, obviously one of the better
nice
teams around. Nice tackle. This is an intense football game.
It's going to be a good game.
You got some football going on here.
I think Tulane plays Duke next week, right? That's what O says here. He says Tulane will beat Duke.
Yeah, they got Wycliffe from BYU, so they got an experienced quarterback. I know he hasn't been at Tulane that long. Tulane got hit with the portal. Obviously, you lose Mensa. You lose Alex Bauman. Bear Pribula. Oh, fumble. Here he goes. Other way. Touchdown. Thank you, Taylene. Critical mistake on third down.
Thank you.
From Bo Pribula.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Running with the ball, fumbling, going the other way. Kansas fans are going insane. Shout out to Lance Leopold, man, getting these guys ready to rock.
Good ball coach, man. Really a good coach. Shout out to Lickin' as well. We're here live as we are every game day. We kicked this off last week for Notre Dame. It was on a Sunday, and now we're here. And this is going to be our spot, man. So we know people like to tailgate, but you guys got to get over here. Get over here early, hang out with us, grab some food, have some drinks before you head over to the stadium every Saturday. If you can't make it today, we will be here every Saturday for every home game here at the Licking Miami Gardens. You see the address on the bottom of the screen there, 17647 Northwest 27th Ave. We got one more hour after this one, D. So we'll be wrapping up here in the next few minutes. Yeah, and then coming back on, after that. But
easy plan: pick up a can of Buzzin' or a case of Buzzin' at Big Daddy's Liquors, which is right there all over South Florida. You can also order a lot if you're out of town. You can order from drinkbuzzin.com. Thank you, Taylene. And you can bring that over, pick up some food here at the Lickin'. You got Taylene. You got your Chef Bridget in today?
Yes, we do.
Tearing it up. We just had a great lunch. Everybody's enjoying their food as the Wiley family's out there grubbing. Mr. Ariz out here. We got the whole crowd. Get out to the Lickin'. Pick up some food either to go or to eat here. It'll make your stadium experience that much better. Or you could have cold chicken wings or cold chicken fingers that cost you $70 in the stadium. You can make your pick on that one. I'm going to go with the Lickin'. So shout out to everybody here. I'm going to grab a case of Buzzin' before I go. Big Daddy's Liquors also can order at drinkbuzzin.com. That's BUZZN for Buzzin'. 7.5 milligrams of real THC infused seltzer, 21 and over. SMU misses a field goal.
Wow.
Here we go.
And Daniel says, I'm going to have to try their wings. Definitely. Excuse me.
Let's see here. Oh, Jennings hurt. Is he really? Hope not. Did he actually?
I didn't see that. I mean, I saw them throw. Oh, what? He must have gotten hurt maybe in one of these plays before this. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, hopefully.
Man, how long was that field goal? Did not look like it was that far.
Yeah, man, you wish they were blowing a conference game, but MB Kane says the wings were legit. Don't listen to me, man. Listen to MBK. Listen to the people who've been out to the Lickin'. They'll tell you what time it is. They'll tell you what's going on.
So, yeah, shout out to E-Class and everyone here at the Licking. So, what do you think, D? Should we wrap this up here before we let's watch the end of this Baylor SMU game. We'll wrap up the second hour here of the show, and then we'll
bring it home after that.
Yeah,
As we
so
see-
Josh says he hurt his ankle on a scramble.
Yeah, I hope that's not serious. That definitely don't want any injuries.
I think you're going to see them run the ball here 3 times in a row.
Depends what the kicker they have, you know. I mean, it's not like their offense is having a ton of trouble.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I mean, look, your quarterback's throwing for 440 yards, 4 touchdowns,
maybe
as Sawyer
throw it
Robertson,
sideways. I don't know.
redshirt senior. I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to put it in his hands and say, make a good decision. You know, be smart.
Throw it sideways, though. I don't.
Oh yeah, they're on the
see.
25. Or
Yeah.
not even. They're on the 23. Yeah, maybe they're. You're right. I think you're right. They might just run this in. I didn't realize they were that close.
I mean, it's just they drive it. I would run it again.
Yeah.
I'm not passing the ball here. I'm running again.
P, you're right. I was wrong. That's the move. Run that football.
We've been listening to Shannon Dawson and Mario. We've been watching Mario ball, huh?
JR Barr says ACC teams choke in every game except against Miami. The old Miami. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, you want to break that streak if you're the Miami Hurricanes. But I do think with the way the defensive line is playing, with the way the offensive line is, with the way you have a veteran quarterback, your margin for error is higher. Your ceiling is, or your margin for error is, higher, wider, and your ceiling is higher, and your floor is higher. You just got a better team, better chance to win. As Baylor converts here, keep on running or kick the field goal now. I'd keep on running, man.
I don't think they're gonna take the ball out of the running back's hands there.
Yeah, keep it running.
SMU, you're right, D. And this is not a Baylor team that I would necessarily say is thought of as a trench team
At all.
right? I mean, Aranda is a defensive coach, but that hasn't been their identity with him there the last
Auburn
years.
ran all over him with Jackson Arnold and the boys.
That was a nice play. They
Nice
sold
play by
out.
number one.
Yeah, sold out there.
Shout out to Isaka, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. He said, here's to the Canes giving second and third string many reps and pitching shutouts this season. I'm with you, man. That's what we need. Robert Skinner says Miami by 420. Got yourself a buzzing, Robert. You want to call 420? drinkbuzzn.com. 7.5 milligrams of THC in every can.
Josh says Baylor has a good wide receiver core. They always seem to have good receivers there.
In the college,
Yeah.
pros, they haven't really delivered. I know Josh Gordon was very good when he did play.
But Corey Coleman, but those guys were studs in
No doubt.
college.
No doubt. And they were very good offense in general, man. Those
Denzel Mims, remember him?
Yeah, Denzel Mims. They're good college players. Man, these guys are they look like us.
And look at Kansas, man. They're making some plays in the backfield.
Whoever's recruiting defensive line for Kansas, I'm impressed by. They got some guys.
They have a commit to Kansas.
Oh, really?
That's a good player that I think Miami's been looking into. I forget his name, but
so the player who just made the tackle right here, Trey Lathan, you guys might remember from Gulliver Prep.
Yeah.
So Lathan from Gulliver Prep just made the tackle right here for Kansas. Good looking linebacker. He can run. As Baylor,
they're trusting their field goal unit here.
Yeah, Trey Lathan, number 4 for Kansas. This is a good looking front. Kamara, I wonder if he's related to all the Kamaras from the Dolphins and from Indiana and all those guys. And McCain say, Lickin had a nice liquor selection. Casamigos is the well tequila. Full bar, they got Moet, they got Ace of Spades. I mean, anything you need for pregame routine, they got it here at the Lickin'. It's not overpriced like the stadium.
We won't be here post game, but they will be open post game, and it's a great place to hang out.
The DJ starts rolling around that time.
Yeah. So,
man.
But let's see here. They're gonna
freeze the kicker.
Man, this has been a good game. Lashley, they had a game like this against Duke last year, didn't they?
Kansas just beating the piss out of Missouri up front. This Kansas front is impressive, man. I got to say, Big 12 doesn't look too bad right now. Colorado really should have won their game against Georgia Tech. They gave that game away. Kansas. Really,
hold on, man. Hold on. The ticker is they really are framing this FIU game wrong. They said Drew Aller, Penn State shut out FIU. They are framing it in a bad way. They said it was the first headline there. It wasn't that bad, man.
13 shutouts in the last 10 years. That's pretty impressive.
Crazy.
Alabama first on that list. Penn State second.
Ooh, nice little return here.
85.
Ooh, wait, why is it?
Man. All right, here we go. Baylor going for the win against SMU. Right
Got
down
it.
the middle.
There you go.
On the road, Baylor gets it done.
Comeback win for Baylor, man. That
Must
was a
win
heck
for
of a game.
Aranda, too.
Heck of a game, man. Lashley can't believe it. Look at that.
You talking about,
I like Lashley, man. I do.
oh, he's a coach. He's a good coach. Aranda, though, he's feeling real good.
Wow, 14-game win streak over SMU. That's crazy.
This guy's got to be feeling great. I mean, Aranda was really on the hot seat. Let's say he's on the hot seat. He started off terrible, was really on the hot seat, finished strong with Baylor. Then you lose to Auburn at home. Then you got this game. You would have lost 2 in a row. Now the heat's picking up. Win that game. Now you're back in business. I think this is a pretty good team.
All right, guys. Appreciate everyone who was hanging out with us here on hour 2. We're going to take a quick break and be back for hour 3 here live from the Licking Miami-Bethune Cookman pregame. Go Canes. Hit that like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.